What's going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Matt, the Misfit. This is your Piledriver Pulse, episode 4, September the 1st, 2024. It's actually going to go up on September the 2nd because of how late I'm recording this. Anywho, we got a lot of stuff to get into. We're not going to cover AEW tonight because there's too much to talk about this week, with including the Stardom 5-Star Grand Prix finals, and we also have No Mercy, and I almost said AEW again. Not Stardom, the other show that happened, Bash in Berlin, as well as the Dream Star tournament, which we're actually going to cover all that stuff here in just a little bit here. I'm going to save the 5-Star Grand Prix and the Dream Star tournaments for the end of the show, because I have a lot I want to talk about when it comes to Stardom, because that show was great up until the fucking title match, and I'll go into that as well. If you notice, we got a new logo, a new podcast logo for the Misfit Wrestling Podcast, and along with a new logo for the Piledriver Pulse. What is very special about this episode of the Piledriver Pulse, instead of having this particular episode exclusive to the other audio outlets, it's going to be on YouTube. Not going to be always on YouTube, but this episode completely is going to be too big for just Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora and Amazon Music and Audible. It's going to be on youtube.com/@MisfitWrestlingPodcast. Follow the social medias, Piledriver Pulse on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, which I started uploading some few things on there now. I am going to be updating the banners with the new logo and maybe some background stuff there, as long as stuff like that. We have a lot of things to get into. I'm going to say Bash in Berlin for the next thing. I want to talk about NXT. I must say Stand and Deliver. NXT No Mercy, which I thought was actually a really solid show. Not as good as Heatwave, but what this show is, what the main talking point of this show is the official debut of one Giulia. Yes, Giulia is now officially part of the WWE roster and the NXT roster. She came out after the match between Roxanne Perez and Jada Parker, and now she has made her very stance known about what she's going to be doing with WWE. As far as I know, I'm trying to find out if Giulia has a thing on here yet. I don't think she has I almost said a website, on the website. But before we go into that, I do want to talk in some news here. Of course, unfortunately, we did find out that Sid Udy, Psycho Sid Justice, all that stuff, unfortunately passed away this past Monday at the age of, I believe it was 62, 63, something like that. I believe so. Yes, it was 62 or just 63. He had stomach cancer. Not stomach cancer. He just had cancer. It was stage 4 cancer. We did talk about that. I also brought up on not the Piledriver Pulse, but the other show that I did on Bianca 5. What did I say about Bianca 5? Who also passed away this past weekend at 62, or not past weekend, this past week at 62. We don't know what he died of, but he did unfortunately passed away. So again, my thoughts and prayers go out to them, and their families. A little bit of news here, switching gears from sad news to really bizarre news before we get into the big 3 reviews here. I went to the WWE website earlier, went to their roster page, and I noticed that all five members of the White Six faction, their profiles were removed from the page. That being Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis, Eric Rowan, and Joe Gacy. Their profiles have been removed. I was wondering why. I'm trying to figure out why, but I did figure out why. Well, I haven't figured out why, but this is just my guess, is I think they're going to get ready to do a revamp of their profiles to, I guess, match the new looks of the White Six, because I don't know if the White Six actually have had a thing set or whatever. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, so that is happening. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah. We're going to see what that happens with all that stuff as well. I don't know if I have any much other... Oh, actually, I do have some NXT news. Since we're going to be talking NXT. Fightful Select had their rundown of NXT news. And here is what Corey Brennan of Fightful Select had to put out here. And here's what has been said here. So... there was no referee cam used tonight during the NXT Championship main event between Ethan Page and Joe Hendry, with Trick Williams as the special referee. In regards to Giulia, we'll actually talk about that when we get to that. Speaking of Giulia, her fellow Marigold roster members, who did end up congratulating Giulia on her NXT debut, along with members of the WWE roster, including Bayley, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. Zeta Steele, who had been working in Japan with Marigold, was scheduled to leave Japan at the end of the month, and those we've spoken to in the industry expect her to be pursued by multiple companies in the U.S. following her excursion. I absolutely see her going to NXT. Another name, Bozilla. Earlier reports claim that Bozilla is on her way to WWE, but as of this summer, Bozilla and Myla Grace are scheduled to be with Marigold at least until the end of 2024. So there is that. Giulia is now officially moved to the United States. Obviously, we'll talk about her when we get to her, because she had a big part on this show here tonight. Zachary Wentz, who won the TNA X Division Championship at Emergence last night, did go to the ring as the X Division Championship. So we'll talk about that as well. That's a little bit. I think that's a little bit of the news that I have for NXT. Actually, no. NXT names were backstage for the TNA tapings. Though Blair Davenport was at the NXT Emergence show as her husband, to support her husband Riley Osborne, who is in NXT in Chase U. We'll talk about Chase U in a little bit. Also we had the daughter of Santino Marella. See you guys. Ariana Grace and Cameron Pichivek. I'm sorry if I misbutchered that name. They were backstage for NXT, not NXT, the TNA TV tapings, and we were told that the TNA partnership is expected to continue well beyond this, because we saw that earlier tonight. let's get into this show, which I thought was very good. There were some matches I wasn't really wasn't really too keen on. That being realistically, to me it was the NXT North American Women's Championship, which I thought was kind of a dud, if I'm being honest here. And I like Wendy Chu. Not really that big of a fan of Kalani Jordan. But I can confirm that none of these matches went over 20 minutes, went over 16 minutes, which is, I love seeing that. Like, first 4 matches went 13. The Roxanne match was 14, and then the main event went 15. So, but the show opened with Chase U, Andre Chase, and Ridge Holland. They ended up defending the NXT Tag Team titles in a very, very solid opening match. I'm gonna run through the let me see if I can find my results here. Here we go. Here are the results for this show. So this was a great match here. They were going back and forth. This felt like an old school NXT black and gold match here. Axiom, not to be confused with A-Kid, even though they wrestle similar styles, but no correlation there. By the way, I just I'll get to those Cora fans later because I cannot wait to light them up on this podcast here. I'm probably going to light up some Tam Nakano fans too. Y'all ain't safe from me either. But, like I said, this was like an old school NXT black and gold match here. Ridge Holland. To me, the highlights of this match were obviously Andre Chase. People were figuring out this man can actually wrestle. Dude wrestled for Dragon Gate USA and Ring of Honor before coming to WWE. He has a background in this. Ridge Holland's all right. We'll talk about Ridge Holland a little bit here. Axiom is great. Nathan Frazer, who was trained by Seth freaking Rollins. You can see it in him. He reminds me so much of Seth Rollins. It's not even funny here. We see Andre Chase hit a Spanish fly onto, I believe it was Axiom. But Frazer tags in to deliver at some point to deliver a 450 splash to Andre Chase off the ropes. Goes for a pin. Chase kicks out. Frazer lands the arm drag, enziguri onto Chase. All that stuff here. We get a doomsday device from Andre Chase and Ridge Holland before Chase tags in Holland. Oh, this happened to Nathan Frazer. Holland powerbombs Frazer into the corner, follows it up with a slam. Chase pins Frazer. Axiom breaks up the fall. Later on, Axiom rolls up Andre Chase. Chase was able to kick out here, sends Axiom crashing into the mat. He ascends to the top rope, but Axiom rocks him with the enziguri. Frazer tags in as Axiom sends Chase crashing to the mat with a Spanish fly off the top rope. Frazer follows it up with 450 splash for the win to pin Chase U and our new NXT Tag Team Champions being Nathan Frazer. Once again, a 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Nathan Frazer and Andre Chase and Nathan Frazer and Axiom. And I believe now that means that Andre Chase may have the shortest. No, that still goes to Mustache Mountain. I believe they're the second shortest reigning tag team. Yeah. So technically, if I can find Mustache Mountain, so technically Mustache Mountain was technically champions for 22 days, but it was filmed a 2-day span, and it was relayed on a tape delay. And then no, actually MSK actually has the second shortest reign with 5 days, or 5 days, whatever it is. They were vacated after, unfortunately, Zachary Wentz got wrongly fired for some stupid ass shit. Fuck all that shit. I ain't gonna go into that. And then right now we have Andre Chase U with the third shortest reign in NXT history for the NXT Tag Team titles. Following the match, however, this is a real talking point here. So they're embracing here as Duke Hudson and O'Reilly look to leave. Rich Holland attacks them from out of nowhere, beats the shit out of all of them, delivers a DDT to Andre Chase, a cradle DDT onto Andre Chase onto a table made from Japan, announce table, to Andre Chase, taking him out, and he was loaded up into an ambulance. So Rich Holland is now on his Big Show heel face turns world tour. I think it's pretty funny, in my opinion, but that's just me. So there's that. But yeah, for an opening match, this match was great. I loved this match. I thought this match was delivered. Remind me a lot of why I love the NXT Tag Team division. A lot of, WWE has been cooking with a lot of these tag team matches lately, and the AEW for some reason as not the same tag team division that it was 4 years ago. And I hate to say that. NXT is killing it. Raw and SmackDown have been killing it with their tag team matches. Even the women's tag team match from Bash in Berlin, which we'll talk about when we get to Bash in Berlin, was great. But this was great too. Wesley taking on Zachary Wentz. Zachary Wentz walking out with the TNA X Division Championship, which is something I still cannot believe I saw on a WWE program. I couldn't believe it when Jordan Grace did it with on not only at the Royal Rumble, but then again wrestling a match on Battleground when she challenged Roxanne Perez. So for a match, I thought this was fine. A good match. I know a lot of people said, it was boring, but I thought it was great. I like both of these two. The ending of the match was great too. So at the end here, Wesley's trying to beat the hell Zachary Wentz, put him against I head first off a table, into the stair steps, puts him into the ring, puts his head near the I almost said the barricade. What the hell is the ring post? He grabs the X Division title, which I think at some point they're going to have that for rematch down the line when it comes to the NXT, or not the NXT, the X Division Championship. Who knows? They might have history made there and have that title defended on WWE TV. We'll see. So, then he goes to grab a chair, gets ready to bash Zachary's brains out when Trey Miguel comes out of nowhere, grabs the chair from him, opens up the door for Zachary Wentz to go hit a Canadian destroyer on the floor, sends him crashing into the mat with a spring. It does this beautiful springboard rolling stunner thing for the win here. So once again, the Canadian destroyer gets the win here. Awesome, he wins matches with it, and I just seen Zachary Wentz get the win here. This surprised me a little bit. I was not expecting Zachary Wentz to get the win here, but I'm very happy that he did, because he just won the X Division Championship, because it would have been very weird to take the title off of Mike Bailey, which is what they did at Emergence, and then put it on Zachary Wentz for him to then go into No Mercy and lose. It would have been very weird to do that. But also, I remember people telling me, AEW shills telling me that TNA isn't benefiting from this WWE partnership. They sure as hell are. They just had a TNA guy, a TNA champion, pin and win and beat one of their wrestlers on pay-per-view. Clean. Technically speaking, Trey Miguel really didn't interfere in the match at all, other than take the title, the chair away from him. So technically, I would call it a clean win. And then after the match, this is like, this is not in backstage. So Nathan Frazer and Axiom, who just become the new tag team champions, we found out that Gallus wants to get challenged for the tag titles, and so does the Rascals. And you know what? We're gonna get give me the Rascals versus Axiom and Nathan Frazer for the NXT Tag Team titles. Give me that in Chicago, please, Shawn Michaels. Oh my God! If they're gonna load that show up in Chicago. Oh my God! That's gonna be a championship night in Chicago. I'm just gonna say that right now. Here now, it's time for this kind of the worst match on the show here, if I'm being honest here. Kalani Jordan, Wendy Choo. I love Karen Q, but this match didn't work here. I just don't think this character works in the ring, if that makes sense here. I think Wendy Choo should just go back to being Karen Q in the ring. I mean, she tried to slow her pace down to make it feel like it was going to work here, but this didn't work here. There was a lot of missteps there. I did pick Wendy Choo to win the title here, but I didn't get it right. The only clean sweep I had at all this weekend was Bash in Berlin. This was so I was not doing too hot on the show. So when it comes to I only got 2 matches correct on this entire show here. But yeah, 450 splash for the wins after the split before hitting the split leg moonsault, which to me doesn't really work for me as a finishing maneuver or move in general. Kalani Jordan gets the win here. After the match here, she retreats up the ramp here. Tatum Paxley sneaks up from behind and chokes out Wendy Choo. They've set up that program as well. So Giulia, I know, is official here, but not I must say Roxanne, but Stephanie Vicure tweeted out and on Instagram, she said, "Good things," with a picture of herself sitting in a red room, saying, "Good things come to those who know how to wait." And I'm thinking to myself, she's absolutely going to take on Kalani Jordan, isn't she? If I'm being honest here, that's what they should do. Kalani Jordan and Stephanie Vicure is where that program should go. So that is just me on that end there. But yeah. Obafemi defending the NXT North American Championship against Tony D'Angelo. Early on in the match, Tony D'Angelo rolled his ankle. It seemed to be bothering him a little bit, but he powered through it here. He was able to hit a beautiful belly to belly overhead belly to belly onto a big. Obafemi is not a small dude, and he did it kind of seamlessly, and he also did a great electric chair thing here. But obviously, somebody, I don't remember who it was, either Stax or was it Luca had I somehow had a crowbar in his jacket. He was about to hit Obafemi was about to hit the crowbar onto Obafemi. Or no, Obafemi was about to take the crowbar and hit it on Tony D'Angelo. Obviously, that didn't work out very well. Didn't work out for Tony D'Angelo either, because for quite a while, didn't work out. Multiple powerbomb attempts here. Hits his slid up powerbomb and to retain the championship. Could be the end of Tony D'Angelo in NXT. I do think it's time for him to get up there as well, because he unsuccessfully didn't win the NXT championship earlier this year against Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver. He failed to win the title, the North American title here. I believe at one point he's already lost the NXT. Yeah, he lost the tag team titles last year to Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. So I think it's time for him to go to the main roster. That's just me. I'm just going to put it up there as well here. But fun match. Could have been better, but I would put that against the stuff there. What should have been the main event of the show, and I love Joe Hendry, and I like Ethan Page, but this really should have been the main event of the show, because of what happened at the end of that post match here. But we had Roxanne Perez defending the NXT women's title against Giulia Parker. As you guys know, I'm not the biggest Giulia Parker fan, but I get why people like her. I thought she did fantastic here. The story going into this match was that she won, I believe it was a battle royal or gauntlet or something here, and she also hurt her ribs. So that was just the story going in here. But near the end of the match here, Roxanne was working on, as she's called the Prodigy for a reason, working on the midsection here, putting her in multiple cross faces and half chicken wings and shit like that, and then they go to the outside. Giulia Parker gets sent into the barricade with Roxanne. Roxanne gets up, hits pop rocks on the barricade. But by the way, did you know that that's not a table? It's a barricade. That's what Vic Joseph tried to explain to people multiple times. I'm like, thanks, Vic. So then she gets back into the ring with Roxanne. So Roxanne was trying to win via count out. Jada was about to Jada got back in the ring, gets hit with pop rocks. 1, 2, 3, and Roxanne Perez retains the NXT Women's Championship. After this is where it gets good. My God. So after the match here, Roxanne is celebrating. She gets on the top rope, and she's holding the belt up. Lights go out. I'm like, I swear to whatever holy Christ is around. To whatever Shawn Michaels was praying to at night, that it wasn't Cora Jade, because God forbid auraless woman walks out here. She has no aura to her at all. Okay, I can sum Cora Jade's entire WWE career up with one sentence, and it's a sentence that was made famous by the late great Owen Hart. That's why I kicked your leg out of your leg. I'll just leave it at that. But Giulia, it wasn't Stephanie Victor. She's still working on her visa issues. It wasn't Delta, even though she is stateside. I think I'm going to wait on Delta for quite a while. It was the former World of Stardom champion, the former 5-star Grand Prix winner of 2022. It was former founder, leader of Donna Del Mondo, Giulia. She finally makes her way into the WWE after her first appearance back at Stand and Deliver, where it was announced, basically confirmed by Fightful Select, that she had indeed signed with the company. So she is now, I'm going to say all late, she is now WWE NXT. And my God, I'm fucking excited. I'm fucking excited for this. Let's go. She comes out, aura everywhere, just exuding from her. She didn't really, all she did was walk out to the ring. Like, she came out of the smoke, and the crowd was like, yeah, she's for real. This crowd, she already became a fan favorite just by walking out. The crowd knew who she was. They popped for her. She is going to be a megastar for WWE, and I am super excited. Super, super excited. Shawn Michaels tweeted out following this, said, "Believe the hype. Welcome to NXT, Giulia," with a picture of Ava Raine, the NXT general manager Ava Raine, and NXT's head booker Shawn Michaels. Giulia tweeted afterwards saying, "I'm here to see you, Roxanne. Hashtag NXT No Mercy. Have hashtag NXT. Head of creative, basically the boss of WWE, Triple H, who, by the way, congratulations to Triple H's eldest daughter, who is not graduating college. She's off to college. I decided not to do college because after I was done with high school, I'm like, I'm done with school. But congratulations to her. He had to leave Bastion Berlin early, which is why Cody Rhodes did his part at the press conference. I'm not going to cover the press conference. There is one bit of news here. I'll mention at the end of the review here for this here, which regards to Raw, when that date's going to start on Netflix. Anyway, Triple H tweeted out, "No doubt, Giulia is an absolute star and is an absolute star with a bright future in WWE. What a time to be a part of the NXT Women's Division. Hashtag NXT No Mercy." Io Sky tweeted, and I quote, "She's arrived. Hashtag NXT. Hashtag NXT No Mercy. Hashtag WWE," with a picture with too much aura in it of her and Giulia. Kairi Sane, Pirate Princess of Damage Control, tweeted out just a telescope and eyes emoji. Of course, as you know, they back in Stardom when when Giulia was still there, but when Kairi went over there for a little bit after she left WWE the first time. They were in a 6-woman tag match. I believe it was either the Crown New Artist Champions or whatever. They give us a tease, a little glimpse of that match, which people want to see more of, and now we're going to be able to see it in WWE. And then some funny stuff, and then some funny things from some of the Marigold roster. So Shozuki and Miley Grace was like, Shozuki basically is like, "This is so cool." Miley Grace tweeted, "That's so she's so sick." And Bozilla had probably the best tweet of the entire night. Bozilla. Let me see if I can find the Bozilla tweet. That shit was funny. I died laughing from this. Where is it at? Let me see if I can find it here. I know I have it here. It's fucking funny. See if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. It was funny. Where's that? I know it's in here. I just seen the damn thing. It was fucking fun. Oh, here it is. She said, "Oh yeah, Roxanne is fucked. Enjoy your last few days as a champion." It was like, did you have to really murder her like that? Oh, I had it right here. This is just that one killed me. That was fantastic. That was amazing. That was a great tweet. But yeah, Giulia is here. Let's look at the views now for this thing. So now, so after a couple hours, looks to me, the most watched thing from this show is Giulia's debut at 47,000 views. That's amazing. That is amazing. People are excited for Giulia. I'm excited for Giulia. I cannot wait to see what she does in NXT, and I agree. She's going to be a future main event star in WWE. She's a future WrestleMania main eventer. I'm sorry, I'm saying it right now. To me, she's going to be the first woman, first Japanese woman to not only win, she'll win the WrestleMania, not the WrestleMania. She'll win the Royal Rumble. I can see that happening. She's probably going to be the first Japanese woman to win Queen of the Ring. She's absolutely going to be the first Japanese woman to main event WrestleMania. It's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen, and I'm very excited for it. So there is that. So we have some new matches. Actually, nope. I'll talk about that here. Main event. Ethan Page, Joe Hendry for the NXT Championship. Trick Williams, the special referee. It was fine. I'm just gonna go to the end of the match here. By the way, Joe Hendry is over as always. But near the end of the match here, so Trick Williams is getting distracted here. Ethan Page hits Joe Hendry with a low blow. All Eagle's Edge for the win as Williams slowly counts the 3. And Ethan Page still retains the NXT Championship. After the match, Williams reluctantly holds the hand of Ethan Page up. Pete Dunne then attacks Williams from behind and hits the better end as he stands tall over Williams as Ethan Page is smiling as he watches as the show goes off the air. So for NXT, I thought this was a good show. I enjoyed this show very, very much. I liked that both NXT and Bash in Berlin, I thought killed it. Let's see if I can find, because I do need to get my notes up for Bash in Berlin in a little bit here. Let me see if I can find Bash in Berlin stuff here. Let me see. Trying to find the Bash in Berlin stuff. Collision. Let's see. I'm looking. Bash in Berlin. No. I'm looking. Bash in Berlin. Bash in Berlin. I'm trying to find my Bash in Berlin stuff here. There we go. Found it. Took me a while. But here's what we got set up for NXT on Tuesday. I will make an announcement when it comes to NXT. But, so, we got a triple threat match coming up. Nathan Frazer, obviously, and Axiom are the NXT Tag Team Champions. We're going to have a triple threat tag match featuring Gallus, the Rascals, and Hank Walker and Tank Ledger, whoever the fuck those two are, determine number one contenders. The winner of that match is going to take on Axiom and Nathan Frazer in Chicago at the first show on the CW. Aura Mensa will take on Alexis King. Who cares about that? Trick Williams and Pete Dunne, who have been feuding, are going to go have a match, I guess, to do something here. But Trick Williams is going to get the NXT Championship match at the Chicago show against Ethan Page. For some reason, his name escaped me a second ago. I don't know why. So that was NXT. Now we're going to go on to Bash in Berlin. Oh my God, it's going to be a long recording session here. So, Bash in Berlin. I love afternoon pay-per-views, wrestling events. Do more of them, please. Fashion in Berlin obviously took place in Berlin, Germany. The Berlin crowd was great. I love seeing the Berlin crowd here. The match opened, no, not the match. The show opened up with Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens. This match was awesome. Fantastic stuff here. The story going into this was that that Kevin Owens assumed that Cody Rhodes injured his knee on the house show. Michael Cole basically called it a bunch of bullshit. Which I kind of call a bunch of bullshit too, because Cody Rhodes was fine during the whole match when it comes to the thing here. But throughout the match, Kevin Owens did not want to do the heel stuff, which was like the power bomb on the apron and stuff here. A lot of Cody cutters and your standard stunners and all that stuff here. But it was the crossroads after the knees up from the Swanton Bomb from Kevin Owens by Cody Rhodes to get the 3 count and still the the WWE Championship. No, Cody's not the WWE title. He's the WWE Champion. Let me get that right. After the match, Cody Rhodes offers the hand to help him up. Owens avoids it. Then they come in and embrace and all that stuff here. Eventually, we're going to get that heel turn. They're teasing it, but, you know, it's coming. That's all I'm going to say. It's coming. It's coming. I'm very, very much sure it's coming there. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. This might have been Jade Cargill's second best match in WWE. The first being the one with the Kabuki Warriors at Backlash. But I thought this was a really good match for what it was. You know, obviously, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair get the win here. You are the new tag team champions. For some weird, odd reason, they're going to be on Raw tomorrow. I don't know why. Apparently, it's some type of championship celebration of some sort. It's happening on tomorrow's show. Why, I don't have a flipping clue. But, you know, that's happening. So, whatever. It might have to go coincide with something when it comes to the Pure Fusion Collective or whatever. We'll see. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, 4-corner strap match. Man, I tell you what, every time somebody tries to tell me that CM Punk is washed, CM Punk is broken down and washed, dude has been once again beating those allegations that he's washed and can no longer go, because the man went, right? The man went and killed it. This is probably the best Punk WWE return. This is probably the best match Punk has had since his last match here. Obviously, the match that he had with I know a lot of people said the dog collar match was the best, but it's not. To me, it's not the same match. The dog collar match is a dog collar that's wrapped around your neck. You're not doing and there's pinfalls. This is the old traditional Dusty Rhodes type strap match, right? Some smart things happen in this match here, but near the end of it, we've seen multiple GTSs as Punk was hitting all 4 turnbuckles. And then for the 4th turnbuckle, he grabbed the bracelet, and then he slapped the 4th turnbuckle to get the win here. And that is now ties them 1 win apiece, which means they're going to have their blow-off match at Bad Blood and possibly inside Hell in a Cell. And if there is no other match on that show, should be main eventing that pay-per-view other than McIntyre and Punk. That's just how it is. Not Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa, not Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. None of that. Punk, Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. Speaking of Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, we had a mixed tag team match. Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. This was actually a lot of fun here. Rhea Ripley is fucking over, guys. I don't know if we didn't notice this by now, why Triple H is very high on this woman and why he keeps pushing her. That is why. She's also one of the top women's merchandise sellers, and she's also, over. But near the end of the match here is what this is going to come down here to. So, JD McDonough, I'm going to say Carlito appear at ringside. Priest and Rhea take them down. Balor surprises Priest with a sling blade while he's trying to get him up for the South of Heaven. Dominic dials up the 619 that hits Frog Splash and Damian Priest goes for a pin. Priest kicks out. Morgan and Rhea tag in. Morgan delivers a tope suicida onto Rhea Ripley. Gets Rhea back into the ring. Looks to land Olivia, but Rhea counters into a backbreaker. McDonough distracts Rhea, but Priest levels him on the outside. Priest just takes everyone out. Dominic, JD, Carlito, and Finn Balor destroys Balor. Balor destroys Dominic on the announce table, and Rhea headbutts Liv Morgan and hits the Riptide for the 1-2-3, which basically at that point would give Rhea the opportunity to get a championship rematch against Liv Morgan, which in my opinion, Rhea Ripley should absolutely win the title here, because I do not see Triple H running with Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. To me, the bigger match right now, because it looks like it's going to do Jade Cargill versus Bianca. The only other match at this point that makes any fucking sense to do is Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. That's just me. Main event, Randy Orton challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match was so much better than their King of the Ring finals match here. Man, Gunther is over. Ludwig Kaiser came out to do the introductions, which people lost their shit for that. But I'm not even going to spend my time on this match to go through it, because that would do it injustice here. But near the end of the match here, Gunther kept locking in the sleeper hold, and he was able to eventually get Orton to pass out, and the referee calls for the bell, and Gunther retains the World Heavyweight Championship. After the match, Gunther and Randy shake hands to basically show respect here as the show goes off the air. I mentioned one piece of news that came out of the press conference. Cody Rhodes did confirm that SmackDown, not SmackDown. Why did I say SmackDown? NXT, nope, not NXT either. Monday Night Raw. Yes, we all know Monday Night Raw is moving to Netflix in January, but we didn't know when in January. So we did find out that on January the 6th, Netflix will be getting Monday Night Raw. So that is happening. This is the first week. It's the first Monday of January. I know a lot of people are going to think this is something else, but no, it's going to be January 6th. And I'm very looking forward to see how Netflix, how the Raw era of Netflix is going to handle this stuff here. We do have some on-air personalities. So for the next few months, starting tomorrow or tonight on Raw, the commentators for Monday Night Raw from September 2nd to January 6th, it's going to be, for Monday Night Raw, it's going to be Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. And then when WWE moves to Netflix, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are going to come back to do this show. Excuse me, this show. And then Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett are going to join Corey Graves on SmackDown. For the time being, Corey Graves and Michael Cole are going to call SmackDown. So that's how that's going to work out. Raw tonight is going to have 2 triple threat qualifying matches to do the eventual number 1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. Get a meaty of a match. Bronson Reed, who murdered Braun Strowman on Raw the other night, which was one of the best things on the show, outside of Uncle Howard's in-ring debut. He's gonna take on Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. That should be a lot of fun here. I'm gonna go with Bronson Reed to get the win here, because I think Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser are gonna cancel each other out. So there's that. Then we also have Dragon Lee, who's gonna be having his first match in a while. Because people asked for Dragon Lee, where is he at? Well, he's gonna be on Raw. He's gonna be facing Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Ilya Dragunov. Ooh, excuse me. Ilya Dragunov is going to get the win here. Should get the win here, because other than that, why bother? We also got Selena Vega versus Shayna Baszler, and we got the weird championship celebration on Raw for some reason with that. And then we got a number 1 contenders match for the WWE Women's Championship, because for some reason Alpha Fire and Isla Dawn need a rematch. They're going to be taking on the Sky Pirates. So that is your Monday Night Raw. So that's it of the WWE portion of stuff. I don't have anything else when it comes to that. But I am going to talk about Stardom, unfortunately. I know normally I'm very excited to talk about Stardom, but not now. So, and I'm very fortunate that Stardom was able to unblock me on Twitter. The English Twitter account. By the way, the next NXT pay-per-view event is going to be Halloween Havoc on October the 27th. We don't know what's going to happen there. We also got Bad Blood, which is the next WWE pay-per-view, which is going to take place on October the 5th. There's no pay-per-views in September if you want to count other than the NXT show. And apparently there's only going to be 2 house shows in the month of September, which is great. So there's that. Stardom's 5-star Grand Prix ended. And so up until the last 2 matches, I was doing a clean sweep. Same with Bash in Berlin. I did a clean sweep all the way through. So I got the first 9 matches correct on the show, right? Waka Tsukiyama beat Rion, because why would they want to have that here? Hazuki and Koguma beat Aya Sakura and Sakakura, because of course they were going to. Maika defeated Mayu Iwatani in a phenomenal match. They were always going to have great matches. That was a great match for the first time ever. A little short though. Only went 11 minutes 44 seconds. I would go a little bit longer than that, but didn't. Sai Kamatani defeated Hanan, which I saw that one coming there. It was an alright match there. I like Hanan and all that stuff here. Anna Jay had her last match in Japan and in Stardom, defeating Momo Kogo on her way out. So I saw that. So that was pretty fun. Xena defeated Saya Ida, because I just didn't see Saya Ida get a win here. Neon Genesis, which is Starlight Kid Azumi, Suzuki, Meisera, and Miyu Amasaki. They defeat the team of God's Eyes, Shiri, Saki Kashima, Lady C, Rina Yagami, and Riza Sarah. By the way, Cena challenged Meisera for the High Speed Championship. Whenever, I don't know when they're going to do that match, but they're going to do that match there. Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi, Sariano, and Yuna Mizori defeated Kunami, Tekla, and Rock of Hate. And I was like, at that point, I'm like, well, this is going to be the only loss for Hate in this on this show. Boy, was I wrong. But my favorite match on the entire show was the Future Stardom Championship match between Hina and Arena. My God, this match I thought was excellent. By the way, I want to point out something, right? So, Arena is only 17 years old. So is Hina, and I love the fact that this match happened while Hanan was watching in the distance here. But this match I thought ruled. Right? I thought this match ruled. So much ruling here. So now, and I tweeted this out because I can, and if I can find the Rena tweet. Yeah, here it is. Nope, that's not. Here it is. So Rena now, who defeated her sister, which a lot of people thought Hina was going to get the win here. I didn't, because I think they want to have Rena break records. She's already broken the record for the longest reigning champion in the Future Stardom world here. But I tweeted out that she now holds the 5th place for most title defenses in all of Stardom. So she now holds the record for the most title defenses in the Future Stardom Championship, but she is tied in 5th place with Io and Mayu Iwatani as when they were the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Champions with also 11. In number 4, at the 4th spot, is Azumi during her incredible run as the high-speed champion with 12 title defenses. The greatest Wonder of Stardom champion of all time, Momo Watanabe, with 13 defenses for the white belt. Io Shirai had 14 title defenses for the World Stardom Championship, which is right now the only person who have done that. And then the top spot currently goes to Saya Kamatani with 15 title defenses under the Wonder of Stardom Championship. Now, if I counted the SWA Championship, which I don't anymore, Stardom doesn't really either, then Toni Storm will be tied with first place with Saya Kamatani. But I didn't, so why would I? Why would I do that? So, but yeah, I thought this match was great. To me, this was a match of the year candidate. Great showing out for Hina. Great showing out for Rena. Rena continues to have a string of great matches with the Future Stardom Championship, and it was just another one to add to her resume. Who is next for Rena? Well, I think Rena should absolutely be beat Hanan first. And I said that, and somebody asked me, well, why is that? I said, first of all, I've never rooted so hard for Rena. I've never rooted for Rena so hard in my life. Time for her to make history. And she did do that. And then I said, what did I say here? Something about Rena should absolutely face Rena next. Oh, here it is. So, actually, I didn't do that. So, anyway, I can't find the tweet anyways, but Rena should absolutely face Hanan for her to, I feel like, feel a little bit vindicated here, and then the person I think should beat Arena is Arena Yagami. Rena Yagami, that's just me. By the way, something I forgot to mention with the CM Punk match. CM Punk came out in his all-in gear, which I fucking lost it in a good way. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, that was pretty funny. What was not pretty funny was possibly one of the worst title matches I had ever seen in my life. Natsuko Tora defending the World of Stardom Championship against Tam Nakano. This match pissed me off so bad. Natsuko Couture now has the second worst run as the World Stardom Champion. The first one goes to Tam Nakano for last year. Tam Nakano, for some fucking reason, is the champion again. And somebody's trying to explain to me why this makes sense to me. No, it fucking does not. Why the fuck does someone need to go 0-5 through the whole tournament, not win a single match at all, be given a championship match, and then win the title? On what fucking planet does that make sense? On what fucking planet does that make any sense at all? And then you have Maika, who, by the way, won the 5-star Grand Prix. We'll get into that here, but here's Maika saying he took exception to Tam Nakano's promo after beating Natsuko Couture to win the championship. Tam said to Natsuko yesterday, "Thank you for reminding me of my fighting spirit." Right? I rewatched the video and thought, huh? So your matches up until now weren't fights? That's extremely disrespectful to your opponents, and it made me angry in the end she was only thinking about herself. To me, the highest ranking champion of a company is like a final boss, standing firm to protect the company. I don't want to follow someone who says things like that. I can't entrust the company to her. That's why I'm definitely going to get beat. She's absolutely going to win the title back, and at this point, who cares, right? Then she said about Natsuko Couture, about her winning the championship. She said, "To be honest, I don't really understand why Tam Nakano, who lost every single match in the tournament, won the red belt. I think that's just strange. It is strange. You're absolutely right. It was fucking stupid. Why you had a perfectly good story right there with Natsuko Couture winning the this is why this doesn't make any sense to me, right? Why? Well, by the way, Maika, like I said, won the 5-star. Why the fuck would Maika care if Tam Nakano was the champion? Because last time I checked, and I know I watched the Sapporo show like everyone else did, at least I hope so. Who was it that beat Maika for the championship? I don't think her name was Tam Nakano. I'm almost 100% positive that was Natsuko Couture. Wouldn't she be wanting to get the title back from Natsuko? So now we're in a situation. By the way, apparently they're gonna have a match on September 19th or September 13th or whatever. So they're not even gonna do that match at Dream Kingdom. Which this still don't make any fucking sense to me. Anyways. So we're in a situation, in a scenario now that Maika wins the 5-star Grand Prix, wants to go for the championship again, but is not going to get revenge on the person who took the title from her in the first place. It's the woman who screwed her out of the championship, by the way. The faction that screwed her out of the championship was this group known as Hate now, formerly known Oedo Tai. None of this shit made any sense to me. This was one of the worst decisions I have ever seen, and I was praising Mr. Okada up until this point. I was praising him for giving me some good matches out of Maika with the title when she was the champion with Momo Watanabe and you know, even though you could say, if depending on who you believe, you could say the match with Utami and what the fuck is and Sai Kamatani at the beginning of the year, and what was the other match? No, that wasn't with Shuri. No, did she wrestle Shuri? I don't know if she did or not. Anyway. And then that was another thing that pissed me off too. They did this whole thing. They wasted, and I said she got the Bray Wyatt treatment when it comes to the championship run. Sure, Bray Wyatt didn't get a lengthy run. What was it? What type of run was it? Sorry if I hit my things here. So Maika was champion for 248 days, right? Bray Wyatt only got to hold the championship for what was it 40-something days? My point was, when I made that comparison, I said in terms of the booking, right? They when Bray Wyatt lost the championship, we were like, okay, he'll probably win it back, right? No, he didn't. He didn't win it back. You know what they did? They did a shitty ass cinematic match that no one gave a shit about. Had Bray Wyatt win, wasn't even for the championship at all either, by the way. Gets his win, his only win over Randy Orton, by the way. Actually, no, that's not true. His second only win over Randy Orton. Both times were due to interference. Just wanted to point that out as well. Then they go straight into the fucking program with... By the way, they were already going straight into the program with Jinder Mahal, because before that, after WrestleMania, Jinder Mahal, for some fucking reason, became the number one contender for the WWE Championship. And they put the title on him for trying to get into the Indian market. Bro, he was not over in India. Let's be fucking real. As soon as they put the title on him, ratings fucking went down. No one was watching the show in India. No one gave a shit about him being the champion. This is going to be the same situation. This is basically the same situation here with Mike and you guys want to claim that she's a top merchandise seller, but when she was the champion, the tickets went fucking down. The ticket sales went down. Lot of people were going to the shows, right? This particular show that they just had, right, that took place, had a attendance of 2,108, which, to my knowledge, is down from last year's show. Right, I want to say it was from last year's show. Let me see if I can find it here. Let me see if I can find it here. Suzuki. Let me see if I can find the Suzuki match here. The one-on-one match. I know it's in here. Give me a second. All right, here it is. 5-star Grand Prix, right? Okay, so which is up. We're gonna go into. Hold on a second. All right. Let me go into the Dream Queendom thing. I'm gonna go into the Dream Queendom ticket sales here. Give me a second. So, like I said, only what was it? 400 less people went to the show because Tam Nakano was in the fucking title match, and he kind of and with Natsuko, which I knew wasn't going to be a great champion, but her being the champion was for a storyline purpose, and they didn't fucking go with it. Then we go back to last year's tournament, right? Which there was no championship matches because fucking the champion was in the tournament. There were no title changes, which is why people went to the show. Because people wanted to see Maika and Suzuki in the finals, 5-star Grand Prix. That was the story. The wrong person won, but we still got Maika winning the championship at the end. And then we go to Dream Queendom last year. Dream Queendom had one of probably the most attended show that they've had in a very long time, which was 3,063 attendance here, which had Maika winning the championship in the main event, which did more. Was a little bit higher than that, but my point is, why did you even bother with this? You wasted Maika's very good title run just to put the title back on Tam Nakano. And this is another thing I had an issue with because you had, let's see, you had like what 6 months to do this title match. You had to give Tam Nakano her rematch. Instead, you wasted a Flashing Champions match. Nothing against nothing against nothing against Hanako. I like Hanako, right? But and it was on the pre-show too. That was another thing. You wasted that on Hanako, who I like. Nothing against Hanako on the pre-show. Meanwhile, guess what Tam Nakano did on this show? Lose to fucking Willow Nightingale. Why didn't Willow Nightingale versus Tam Nakano need to be on the show? Nothing against Willow Nightingale. You could have done that match with Maika here. Or instead of, again, nothing against Xena. I like Xena. You could have had did the Tam Maika match at the conversion. Especially after everything that happened. No, you didn't do that. You wasted Maika with 2 matches that no one really cared about. And again, I like Hanako and I like Xena. Those were the weakest matches of Maika's run as a champion. If I'm being completely honest here, I loved Maika's matches with Utami and Momo and Saya, and I'm almost very much positive that she wrestled Cherry with let me see. I swear to God, she wrestled Cherry with the title on the line. Okay, so she didn't. So she didn't. For some reason, I could have thought. I must have been thinking about Momo Watanabe, but Maika. Let's look at Maika's title defenses here. So Maika wins the championship so she beats Saya Kamitani at the 13th anniversary Supreme Fight show in February. Beats Utami in one of my favorite matches of the year. Beats Megan Bain, right? That was another thing in America with that sick ass Maika driver from the top rope. Defeats Momo Watanabe in these 3 stages of hell match. Has that great match with Tomoka Inaba, by the way. I did watch that and it was awesome. Okay. Tomoka Inaba, who had, by the way, one of my favorite performances in the 5-star Grand Prix. I don't think she wrestled on here. No, I don't think she did. She. Give me a look. I know she did not compete on this show. Weird. Oh, that's right. She had another show, I believe, and she competed in. Which makes a lot more sense now. Anyways, so I didn't care for the Xena match, and you kind of wasted a match on Hanako. And again, I like Hanako and I like Xena, but you could have done at any point from January all the way to last month, or not last month, in July. Do a match with Tam getting the rematch with Maika. They didn't. And then we had Natsuko win the title, and I'm like, well, they're gonna do the storyline with Natsuko and because the story to me in going into the 5-star Grand Prix and to the Sapporo show was Natsuko Toro, Sai Kamitani. That was the story. Did they go with it? Fuck no, they didn't. And I have nothing against. I love Maika. She's one of my favorites. She's probably my top 10 women's wrestlers of 2024. Did Maika really need to win the tournament? The tournament, to me, at this point, the tournament, as much as I love the match, I loved the match with her and Sai Kamitani. It was one of my favorite matches in the show. Probably maybe a match of the year candidate. But did Maika really need to lose the championship thing, win the fucking tournament? only to not go after the person she didn't lose the title to. None of that made any sense to me. So to me, you wasted the 5-star Grand Prix, and then you wasted Maika's title run all at once. You were able to kill the Maika's title run. You killed the story that they could have pulled with Natsuko Toro and the whole thing there, which they could still salvage that somehow. I do think Kamitani is getting the world title match in December. I don't know who the fuck's going to be the champion. I would, if it was up to me, I would put the title back on Natsuko Toro. Because then I'm not gonna care. Now, unless they do a rematch between Natsuko and Tam at Dream Kingdom, and then that's where they do the fucking turn. Because I do expect at some point this year for Saya to turn on Natsuko along with Momo Watanabe and maybe Rina, because Rina at this point, those three individuals do not need that fucking group. That group is that they killed that group as well. The new hate group didn't even last a month, and they killed it with the stupid ass booking that they did. I hope to fucking God they don't that Rossy Ogawa doesn't do that with the Dream Star. So now not only does Maika win the 5-star Grand Prix, she's not even going to challenge the person who beat her for the championship, nor is she going to challenge. She's pulling a Suzuki from last year, because who knows if Suzu was going to win the championship from Tam Nakano. I would like to hope to think so. And Cooler Hale, I thought Cooler had to prevent. I'm not entirely sure that the whole Okada Ibushi Road wanted Maika to be the world champion. I'm not entirely sure about that anymore, because if that was the case, Maika would still have been the champion, and they could have just had Tam Nakano win the tournament, by the way. It does frustrate me a little bit here. As a fan of Star, I love Stardom. I was one of those people that when they did the whole turn with Sai Kamitani and Natsuko Toro winning the title, I'm like, let it play out. I'm the end game is still Sai Kamitani. That was my plan. That was my go-to answer. Now I'm not entirely sure anymore, and I don't even know what's going to happen with the damn that image now. That whole shtick of, well, the whole shtick of, well, you know. That whole shtick of, you know, well, we did the whisper in the ear spot, but we're probably never going to go back to it, because we're not going to tell you what we said to each other. It's frustrating as a Stardom fan. It really is. This was not needed. None of this made sense. Do better, Stardom. Do better. That's all I gotta say. You better have a good fallout out of this, because if you don't, a lot of us angry Stardom fans that were not pleased by what you did at the 5-star Grand Prix finals, y'all Tam Nakano fans can stick it for all I care, right? It's not about you this time. It wasn't about Tam Nakano either. It was this tournament was not about her. Her winning the Natsuko winning the championship was not about her. And Natsuko now looks like a fucking idiot, for a complete idiot for even doing that. So maybe Queen Squad should have won at the conversion. Maybe Momo Watanabe should be back with Queen's Quest already. Ridiculous. That's my little rant there. I'm not taking it out here. And if you guys have a problem with it in the comments, I don't give a shit. All right. Now, I have not been watching any of the Marigold stuff because there's been a lot of fucking shows on this week. But I'll try to go back and watch some of the matches here. But I do have the Dream Star Grand Prix 2024 standings here. So we do find out the leagues here. So we have the Dream Leagues, which consisted of Mirai, Shozuki, Nori, Nozuki, Utami, Yuzuki, Goto, Chika Goto, and Kyoki. On the red stars, the Star League, we have Bozilla, Miku, Iono, Mai Sakurai, Chiaki, Zuna Tanaka, Misa Matsui, Nanane Takahashi, and Sire. So right now it is a three-way tie in the top here from Mirai, Shozuki, and Nore, who have 3 points. Nozuki and Utami have 2 points. By the way, Utami lost to Nozuki in the first round, which was one of the big shockers there. Utami is still my pick to win the whole thing because you got to do Utami versus Sherry, right? Not Sherry, Sarai at the end of this thing. Sarai has a handler match. She's having her matches next week, I think, maybe. So there's that. 1 point for Yuzuki. I believe probably they went to a time limit draw. Chika and Kaki have no points here. So there's that. The Star League is led in a tie there with Bozilla and Miku Ano, who I could absolutely see Miku Ano win this block here, but she is also the United National Champion. So I can see it being Utami and Mai Sakurai near the end of this here. Mai Sakurai, who has 2 points, and everybody else has 0. So those are kind of the situations we are on right now when it comes to that. I don't have the next set of matches in front of me, so I'm not even going to pretend to know I have those. You can go to my good friend Blitzball Gaming for that. He has his a review up on that, so there's that. So I don't think I have anything else now for when it comes to I don't think I have anything else here. I will, however, announce right now that my first NXT standalone review is going to happen on October the 2nd when NXT moves to the USA network. Not the USA network, the CW is what I meant. I don't know why I said the. I have no clue what I said. Why I said the CW. Said the USA network. I don't know where that came from. Anyways, I think that's about it. All I have. How much do I have? How much have I done here? Almost half an hour. So no, actually no, it's not half an hour. Almost an hour and 30 minutes here. So yeah. So I will be back here for Monday Night Raw. We got a lot of stuff to go through and stuff. We're gonna see how good Joe Tessitore does on NXT, or not NXT, on Monday Night Raw. So that should be a lot of fun. We also have NXT What's Next for Giulia. We'll go through what Giulia does or says on next week's Piledriver Pulse, which will be exclusive back to the old non-YouTube sites. So that's where that's going to be. And then I will go back to covering AEW on the Piledriver Pulse next weekend, along with some other stuff, including the Dream Star and Stardom stuff. So we'll see what's going on with that, as well as Friday Night SmackDown, which is going to happen on Friday this coming week. So yeah. Other than that, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I will see you guys back here from Monday Night Raw. Don't expect a lot of these Piledriver Pulse to go up on YouTube, because it's not going to. This is special for obvious reasons, including, for Giulia's debut, all that stuff here. So we'll find out how long Giulia's contract is as well. So yeah. Until then, we're out.